I hope you're all doing well. I just finished a bunch of editing. I'm in the middle of watching a couple of vlogs that I wanted to catch up on. Today's gonna be a little bit more of a chill day. So I was thinking of hitting up a couple of thrift shops and taking you with me because I've been feeling myself with the thrifting lately. It kind of feels like a little bit of a treasure hunt because you never know what you're gonna find. It's kind of relaxing to just put on a podcast and go in there and feel the different textures, look at the different things. It's actually really inspiring too. Y'all come in along with me. I'll probably do a little bit of meal prep tonight. I'll show you really quick. I also set out some seafood to thaw. There's prawn, mussels, scallops, squid and pollock. Can't really say no to treating yourself every now and then, especially since I've been really good the last couple of weeks with saving up for a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna stop talking now and take you guys with me. We just got back. It's freezing out today. I did get quite a couple of things. It was a pretty rewarding day and I wanted to quickly show you what I managed to pick up. First thing, these earrings. Oh, by the way, this is my painting. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this up a couple of weeks. Actually, wait, no, by now it should be a couple of months. A couple of months ago, I was going through a pretty rough time emotionally and I dedicated about close to an hour every day just painting my feelings. After about 2 weeks, this was what I came up with and I decided to put it up in my room, have like a nice little, not much of a setup, but anyways, first thing, these earrings, should put them here. These little, they're little copper earrings and they immediately reminded me of a friend actually that I'm gonna see really soon. I don't know, I just vibed her from these. I'll probably wrap them up and write her a little note also, give them to her whenever I see her next. Next item, this beanie. It's a pretty basic beanie. I kind of go through beanies fairly quickly. I also think it's because I don't really take care of them. They end up pilling quite a lot and getting like these little balls of cotton on them. I am missing a nice thing to just like nestle my head in, and I got it for 50 cents, which is pretty neat. It has this little logo up the front. It actually reminds me of Dark Mofo, which is this annual arts grungy, I want to say satanic, but it's not. It's this sort of annual event that's held here in Tassie. A lot of indie artists and bands sort of come through and a lot of people from interstate, from mainland Australia come down. I kind of like it. So there's that one. Last but not least, got this really nice top. I'm not a huge fashion person. I'm not someone that dolls up a lot. Whatever activewear I wear ends up just being my outfit. And before you know it, it's been 3 weeks and I've just been living in leggings. With fast fashion, it's really easy to also get caught up in continuously purchasing and not really engaging in the pieces that you wear. I would definitely want to go for pieces with a lot more personality that just sort of hold their own, rather than just functional pieces that just work. Warming up to it, so this isn't anything super fancy, but I'm actually really happy that I have this. It's like one of those oversized cuts. Let me just try it on really quick. It smells like old ladies, because I swear every single thrift shop I go into is staffed by old ladies, and it's so cute because they wash and they clean the clothes before they sort of put them up for sale, and it just ends up smelling like your Grammy washed them. This is the top. You know, it looks like freaking pajamas. Can I do like a alternating button? I'm really liking it. Thumbnail time. Maybe not all together like that. Those are the things that I got. I ended up looking through a bunch of the old stuff that I had, like old books and letters that I sort of packed away. I actually ended up finding this old book that a teacher gave me when I was 14. When I was really young. It's One More Day by Mitch Albom. This teacher used to teach me animation skills. For the life of me, I did not manage to get around to reading it until very recently. You may have heard of this guy before. The author's pretty famous for Tuesdays with Morrie, Meaning of Life, Pursuit of Happiness kind of book. She actually wrote me this really old note that's even got mold on it. Life is a song, sing it. Do not frown or get upset too easily, okay? Stay strong and work hard. Lastly, never forget how to smile. The 9th of December 2011. So this is a little piece of history right here. The pages are just so old and brown. I love how books age. This was actually a pretty quick read. I finished it in, I think it was 2 days. About this retired baseball player who ends up going through a little bit of a midlife crisis, and he ends up getting separated from his family, commits suicide. He's stuck in this weird limbo where I guess he's in purgatory, and what happens is he meets his mother, who actually died many years back, and it's all about how for one more day he has that time with a parent that he lost. And this had me in my feels. Ended up putting down a couple of quotes, and I thought it'd be cute if I read them. Why do kids assume so much from one parent and hold the other to a looser, lower standard? Maybe it's like my old man said, you can be a mama's boy or a daddy's boy, but you can't be both. So you cling on to the one you think you might lose. This one really reminded me a lot of my childhood. My father was always flying in and out of the country for work. And I guess it is true. You can either be really close to your mum or your dad, but it'll always be one or the other. Growing up, I was always closer to my dad. It was only as I started to get a lot older that I started to actively build a relationship with my mother. It really made me think of little Candace. Did she cling on to her dad a lot because she was afraid she might lose him because he was coming and going all the time? Like, what if he went and he never came back? It hit a very strange spot in me and took me back. Whenever I knew my dad was gonna come back, Dad would have this thing where he would go meow, meow, like he would meow at the door and pretend to be a cat, because I loved animals. And I would be so excited because either way I win. It's either my dad or a real cat. And yeah, it was all these like funny sort of memories that started coming back to me as I was reading this book. Another quote that I really liked. It's funny. I met a man once who did a lot of mountain climbing. I asked him which was harder, ascending or descending. He said, without a doubt, descending. Because ascending, you were so focused on reaching the top, you avoided mistakes. The backside of a mountain is a fight against human nature, he said. You have to care as much about yourself on the way down as you did on the way up. You gotta let that one sink in a little. The backside of a mountain is a fight against human nature. You have to care as much about yourself on the way down as you did on the way up. If we want to get a certain achievement, we do take care of ourselves a lot more as we are pursuing that goal, because there is that bigger picture that we are striving towards. It's a lot harder actually to take care of yourself and not completely let go. Even friendships, if you are planning on a trip with a friend, it makes a lot of sense to spend a lot of time with them and continue to build rapport and prepare for the trip, but it's only after the event it's a lot easier to let go and let things slip away. One more. This one's towards the end of the book. This is the protagonist looking back on a conversation with his mother. What causes an echo? She once quizzed me. The persistence of sound after the source has stopped. When can you hear an echo? When it's quiet and other sounds are absorbed. When it's quiet, I can hear my mother's echo still. Yeah, this one sucked. This one sucked. I feel like when we grow up as children, it's very easy for impressions to be made upon us. We tend to think and remember our parents as how they were when we were children. As we grow older, we forget that our parents age with us. It's actually pretty heartbreaking because they won't be around forever. I know it sounds really, really harsh, but hopefully it won't come to a point where my parents would have to be without me. No parent should ever have to bear the pain of losing a child. We always think that our parents will be around forever, and it always feels like they'll be around forever. These are people that most of the time have been around since the day that we were born. We are an embodiment of everything that they're leaving behind. Okay, last one, I promise. I also believe that parents, if they love you, will hold you up safely above their swirling waters, and sometimes that means you'll never know what they endured, and you may treat them unkindly in a way you otherwise wouldn't. This one speaks for itself a lot. Many of our parents are just completely unconditional, and they just want us to experience things a little bit better than they have, in particular if they haven't had the best childhood. And we just forget and treat them unkindly. It's really easy to have different expectations set, especially if you come from a more privileged background. No matter what, the single unifying thing is that our parents aren't gonna be around forever. Call your mama. Let's cook! Got half of that marinara mix, some leftover broccoli, cauliflower, onion, and this rice noodle thing that I just had lying around my fridge. Get my veggies and fiber in. A little bit of strawberry whey on the side. The other half's over there in a container, along with an obsessive amount of tea that I'm gonna have, but that's gonna be for dinner tomorrow. Let's go. I'm actually really, really hungry, so I can't wait to eat this.